you need to watch to the end of this video because if you don't know what a constraint is, it's probably costing you at least $100,000 a year. Now, what is a bottleneck? A bottleneck and a constraint are usually the same thing, but I want to let you know a constraint is something that doesn't allow you to grow. A bottleneck is more of something that slows down growth, but they're very, very similar and can be taken almost synonymously, meaning as the same thing. So, a bottleneck is a point of slowdown in the system that stops things from flowing as designed. So I want to give you an example from some stats from about 2 years ago when I was running this book a call funnel and it wasn't profitable. So as you can see, I spent $11,000 and I only made $7,000 in profit, um, which I want you to understand the profit isn't calculated off of what's left over after spend. The total cash collected um, is revenue. This is gross profit, and there is no net profit. So gross is um, basically the main cost. So if I spend $11,000, um, and I make 12,000, okay, there's $11,000 difference. But I also have to spend money to fulfill on this money collected. So to handle the clients for my team and all of that, and left over, I only had this. So if you compare this versus this, I was down about $4,000 here. So what this example is here to show you is what a constraint is. Now, if we're going to quickly go over the numbers, um, the main things you need to know is that my scheduling rate was 32%, my show rate was 34%, my close rate was 29%. My cost to acquire a customer was almost $600, and the average cash I was collecting was about $380. So nowhere near the CAC, the cost to acquire a customer. So if you don't know these business numbers, you have to get it together, because if you're running a book a call funnel, it may just be pure luck and pure just copying somebody else's system or whatever you did to get where you were at. That's causing you to make some profit. Maybe you just have high ticket clients, a good audience, and warm people. But if you want to scale to cold audiences and you want to be able to spend $1 and get way more back, then you need to learn this system, learn these numbers, learn how to track, and learn how to find a constraint or bottleneck in your system. Now, if I've lost you based off of all of these technical terms, I'll just break down some of these things. So the scheduling rate, of course, is the percentage of leads who decide to get on the calendar and book a call. The show rate is out of all of those people who booked the call, how many people showed up. And the close rate is out of everybody who showed up, how many of them closed. So there are certain KPIs, which are key performance indicators, which I explained in another video. If you haven't watched that, it's over here. It's on my other YouTube channel. It's on my other YouTube video if you want to check that out. But the idea here is if you don't get these numbers within KPI, your business is not going to be profitable. So say for instance, KPI is a key performance indicator. It's a number of a metric. Like, see these stats, these are metrics. It's a number of a metric that lets you know that you're doing well. So close rate metric, the average standard KPI for close rate within this type of industry is about 20%. I did 29%, which is good. Show rate needs to be at least 60%. It was 30%, which is half off, which is terrible. And the scheduling rate was good. Average 30%. This was 32. That's great. That's what I average usually in all of my funnels, around 32. It's weird, for some reason it follows me everywhere I go, around a 32% scheduling rate. It's weird. But the show rate was a huge problem here. But if you really look close to the numbers, you can tell the one thing that's truly wrong with this is the pricing. Because if it's costing me $500 to get a client, and I'm only making around $300 per client, I'm losing a lot of money. So that's a huge problem here. So I want you to keep that in mind. On another video that is going to be out on the page on this YouTube channel, I am going over this full example, and I go a lot more into detail. The video is titled "This Cost Me $23,000 in profit," or something like that. If you want to check it out, it's there. But I just wanted to let you know what a constraint was. So this right here, the show rate and the pricing is the constraint, because the initial price was around 547, and then I had some other tiers, but the price and the average amount I was selling people on wasn't enough money to make this profitable, and that was the main reason it wasn't profitable. The show rate was very big and very important, but the biggest thing is the amount, the average cash collected, which was my pricing. So this had a pricing issue and a show rate issue, as you can tell here. And I did the math on the other one, and if both of these were fixed, the show rate and the pricing, this funnel would have made about $56,000 in revenue and $23,000 in profit. So it's very important to know bottlenecks, to track your numbers, so you can at least know what your metrics are and if they're in KPI, so you can know what to focus on. Because if you just feel like, it doesn't feel like we're closing enough deals, it doesn't feel like we're making as much money as we need to, that's not enough to zoom in on something and solve it so that your business can be profitable. So if you're not tracking daily and knowing exactly what your stats are, that's a problem. So if you're a coach, if you're a coach running ads, this is literally should be your bread and butter, because this is what makes you money. And if you don't really get this in order, you're going to be leaking money from your funnel over and over and over again. But yeah, if you need help finding what your constraint is and you want to know, we have a link in the description where you can book a call to speak with us on how we can help you find your constraint and then solve it. I hope you have a blessed day. Bye-bye.